so Philip was able to sell his company, and you have
Yeah.
this nice runway, right?
Yeah.
And at this point, you are also in like early 30s, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people in that age start thinking, okay, let's build a family, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of the opposite of going all in on a startup, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you try, okay, nice, we have some money, we can save it, and now maybe let's be a little bit more conservative, maybe start a family and see if everything works for first 1, 2, 3 years,
Yeah.
and then maybe then risk it if we feel comfortable.
Right.
But so was starting a family already part of your mind back then, or is something just came afterwards?
Yeah, we both knew we wanted children. So in our
Hmm.
so that actually also kind of played a role. We were like, okay, early 30s, if we want to like travel and try out the startup thing, we should do it
Right.
now, before we start
Yeah.
thinking about kids. And that was the whole idea. Now, because of COVID, all of that
Yeah.
didn't happen. And we were back at home, after literally like 1 month in lockdown for almost a year. And then we just started thinking like, okay, we can wait, but we don't really know how long this is going to take. And should we I mean, things might have gone very differently if we went traveling. Maybe we would have waited a couple of years and
Yeah.
who knows. But that didn't happen. And then when we understood that COVID was also not really going away, we decided not to put like our personal lives on hold for the startup
Hmm.
story.
Right.
So that's kind of how it all came together. But I would not advise it. Like it's not a competitive advantage to have a small kid and run a startup.
Yeah,
So
I
if
can
you can do
imagine.
it differently, I would. It was also not really our game plan from the start. But then
Right.
we just, kind of went with it and very
And
happy,
how
of
what
course, now. Yeah.
obviously, but I mean, that's very brave as well, right? Like, weren't you worried that, okay, we are we are having kids, and now what if this fails, right?
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
we don't have time to do it? Like,
Yeah.
was going back to a normal job a possibility?
It
Like,
was.
how did you rationalize that?
I think for us, the thing we said, like, what's the worst that can happen is that this fails. Yeah, no one thought about a pandemic, of course, but we can always, we work in tech, we have experience. We can always go back and find a job that
Hmm.
we would probably like doing. So the worst thing that could happen, or the worst case scenario, was to have to find a job and go back to work as an employee. So that was definitely an option because we had no clue if this thing would work.
Yeah.
The I was definitely scared about combining like the baby with the startup journey and not earning money. That was it was definitely there. But then again, because we had some savings from the sale, that just kind of helped us to say, okay, we can last for a year or a bit longer, like 2 years, and we will still be fine
Yeah.
if we don't make any money. So that definitely helps, but it doesn't really make it less stressful because you live from your savings and you see it go down every
Yes.
month and nothing comes
Yes.
in.
I know what it means. Yeah.
And that's
Definitely know.
that's not fun. Of course, COVID helped us because we could not go to restaurants, we could not travel. So we were spending a lot less than we
Yeah.
would usually do. So that definitely helped. But it was definitely stressful, and it still is.
Yeah.
With, of course, the change that now we are making money, and after a while we could start paying ourselves a salary, and then the whole situation changes, of
Mhm.
course. The kid grows
The,
up, so yeah.
yeah. The How was the reaction of the people around you? Like your friends, your family? I don't know. Here in Portugal, for instance, people are still very family centric. So
Yeah.
ha- my parents would definitely get nervous. Okay, starting something without having a steady job, and
Yeah.
starting a family without having a steady job. Was it the same for you, or did you get support? How was it?
Yeah, I think we got both. Mainly, I mean, it was difficult. I think people were really afraid of what we were doing
Yeah.
just because, especially in Flanders, there's not like the whole entrepreneurial mindset is not really something that we're born with, you know. So
Hmm.
people are really risk averse and try to avoid taking to yeah just taking financial risks
Right.
basically. So quitting your job and then having a baby would not be like a normal
Advisable
thing
thing
to
to do.
do or
Yeah.
advisable thing to do. So there was a lot of that, like what if you get pregnant? What are you gonna do? You're not gonna get like there's like maternity leave, and
Yeah.
usually when you can stay at home for a while and would still get some money from the government. We didn't get all of that. So that was stressful. Also like you're both in it full time.
Yes. Exactly.
What are you gonna do when it fails? So there was definitely that from family side as well. Although yeah, my parents were like dying to get a grandchild, so I guess
Yeah.
that like overweighed the the whole situation. They were just happy to to get a baby. And my sister is quite entrepreneurial. She works at Media Monks, like
Hmm.
multinational, has a high position there. So she was always supportive of the idea.
Right.
So there was a bit of both, but I would say, yeah, the a lot of people made us scared instead of
Yeah.
supporting us, which is normal because people are like a form builder or travel
Yeah. What is that?
influencers. Is
Explain
you
that
really
to your
think that's
family. It
gonna
must be hard.
work?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like there's no office, there's no employees. Yeah.
Social
It,
security,
Oh
unemployment
no,
fee,
yeah,
nothing, right?
yeah, no, no, no.
How do you like? What is your tip to deal with
Yeah,
that fear? Like, do you just like put it aside? It's like, "Yeah, let's forget about it and think about tomorrow instead of next year,
yeah.
or like, what is your tips?
I think for us, we gave ourselves some time, right? Like as I said before, like we also knew the first thing might fail. Of course, you don't go in it with that mindset. You like go full on and you really think that your project is going to succeed.
Yeah.
But just knowing that it might fail and maybe it's the second or the third thing that works out or maybe it's a 10th thing. But to have that mindset, you also need to have the time, and having the time means having the money. And that's just
Right.
something that for us really helped, is just knowing that, okay, we will be able to pay our bills even if this startup doesn't work out in the coming months.
Right.
I think that definitely helped. And also just we had each other. I think like solo founders, I have a lot of respect for them because I don't know how you do it without like support from someone
Yeah.
who is in the same boat. And I guess what also helped with us is that we're partners in life and living together. So
Yeah.
there's only one rent that needs to be paid, right? If you're with like two co-founders and
True.
two families, that's already a different story. And then there might be other partners getting, stressed out by the
Right.
situation. So we were in the same boat. We were supporting each other, and we said, worst thing, we just go back, find a job, and that's it. That's also fine. Of
Right.
course, that was not gonna be our dream, and we would be disappointed. But yeah, it's kind of how it went
Okay.
for us.